So you had a night to reflect.
Yes.
And to think about what's going on out there. In the
Yes.
immediate aftermath of the tribal council, it was emotional. It was a big moment, like it was a 50-50 shot.
Right.
And so after that had settled in, where'd your mind go?
Well, I was pretty mad at myself most of the night that I didn't play the idol on myself, but this morning I was just like thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I took a risk by giving it to my alliance member, and it could have been him. It could have been any of the four of us. I felt like, and when I was sitting there, I was like, I know they keep saying Bryce, but what if it's somebody else? But what if they think that I think that it's somebody else, so it really is Bryce? And so I just was like, we have to play it. Now's the only time we can even things out and maybe have a shot at this. And so, I don't know, playing it for an alliance member, I feel pretty good about that. Like, yes, it was a mistake on who we played it on, but I think it shows where my heart is at, and that I was willing to give up my position in the game for my line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between having been incorrect
Right.
and having been wrong.
Right.
You were incorrect in who you chose to do it, but the decision to do it wasn't wrong.
Right.
So it didn't work. The numbers fell the other way. What are you hoping is happening out there right now? What do you think's happening out there right now? Those are two. Perhaps they overlap, but they could be different.
Do I think? Well, I know they had a little bit of a rough night because when I was going through my stuff after, I found the flint, so I don't believe they have one. So I think they probably were cold, which probably didn't help anyone's mood out there. But I thought it was interesting. I got to see the next immunity challenge, and I got to see the reward. And it was kind of interesting that Bryce ended up taking Hannah as one of his picks. So I'm interested to see what is happening there.
Who do you want to see join you first on the jury?
Probably Hannah. But I don't know who it will be. I think Hannah and Katie are the two running the show. Or like the two that are, yeah.
So as the game unfolds today and you're watching people come into tribal, what are you looking for? What information do you want to glean so that you can make the best decision? Because like we talked about yesterday, you're still playing the game here.
Well, I want to know if I was the original target, or if that happened after I called people out on some of the things that were happening. I'm wondering if that switched to tribal, which I think it did. So that is one of the things I'm looking for. Another thing is we didn't play with any of them, so I don't know what happened on the other tribe at all, and I would like to get to know a little bit more of their story and like how they voted out the people they voted out.
So as you start imagining, a question you might ask at final tribal council, what are you thinking? What are you considering?
The question I have right now is I used my idol on an alliance member, putting myself at risk. How have you done the same?
And what's the, well, I guess I'm coming at it from multiple directions, but what are the criteria you're going to use for the people sitting there at the end um, to judge who you think should win the game? It sounds like it's
I wanna
focusing on
know-
risk.
Yeah, I want to know who played a strategic game.
Okay.
Like, that's where my head's at. I think every move that I made was strategic, and it was for my core alliance ended up being Rachel and Bryce. And once I realized that I kind of had to work with them, like, I was all in. And so I want to know how they made moves strategically to get to where they are.
Who of the 8 that remain do you feel? I mean, you didn't know too much of what was going on the other side, and what sense do you have about who's the most strategic player or players that are calling the shots around here?
I felt like on the other side.
Anyone. Like, if you think about the 8 people, it's like you probably see some people, as people tend to do. There's a couple of strategists out there. There's some maybe goats out there. There's so who are the strategists? Who are the people that you?
I think Katie is somebody I'm going to definitely be watching. I think, like I said, I think her and Hannah are working closely together, and so maybe I'll watch the pair of them. It's interesting. Kathy was with the girl with the dark hair. I don't even know her name. She's another stay-at-home mom.
Courtney.
Yes. Kathy was with Courtney for a while, and so I'm wondering if they'll end up coming together. Although I know Kathy went on the reward with Hannah and Bryce, so I'm wondering what's happening there. Like, there's different clusters of people. I'm wondering, like, what's happening within them. And then the whole guy thing, too. I always call him Jimmy. I don't know why. Justin. I'm wondering if Justin and Bryce will end up coming together, or if that was all just like a farce and like that was to get us played. I'm not sure.
So, are you expecting when they start coming in for tribal that is this a day of pagonging and then some shifting of pieces, or is this a day of volatility where you really don't know what's going to happen?
I honestly see it as a pagonging, but I'm hoping it's not.
What are you
I'm
hoping to see? Is there a certain specific situation you would love to see play out?
I mean, I would love to be at Redemption right now and you put me back in the game, but seeing as I've eaten and now had coffee, I don't think that's what's going to happen. So, when I left, I told Bryce and I told Kathy to win. So if they were at the end, I would be, like, ecstatic.
If there are fireworks, if things do get crazy, who did that? Like, who's...
I could see Justin being a schemer. Because he gets along with everybody, as far as I can see. Like I said, we really didn't get that much time with anyone from the other tribe, but he looks like he could get along with everybody, which is why it's interesting that we're all girls.
I'm not sure quite how to ask this question, but do you think the reads you have on the people who are out here, do you think these players are presenting their real selves, or do you think that there are going to be some people that there's potential for meeting people after the game and being like, not or revealing at the end when they're making their argument, and you're like, wait, this isn't who I thought you were.
I expect a little of both. I mean, I think I came out of my shell yesterday. I know I held back for until yesterday because I was aligned with pretty much everybody, or at least I thought I was. I could totally be making that up in my head, but I felt like I had to hold back because I needed to just kind of skate through, or seemingly skate through, but really there was a lot of strategy behind that, and I mean, I didn't tell anybody that I homeschooled. I didn't tell anybody that we adopted until the second day when my kid shows up, and that was for a reason. I didn't want to be like the I don't know, the goody homemaker and just get voted out because I was too nice or something. And so there were definitely things that I didn't tell people, and that was on a purpose, and I'm assuming a lot of these people are doing the same.
Which of them are you most eager to connect with when the game is over?
Obviously Rachel and Bryce and Kathy. And then all the people that already got voted out. Like, I really want to go see them. And explain, like, explain why I voted out the people that I voted out.
Yeah, it is one of the hardest parts about the jury is being held away from that.
Yeah.
And then those feelings of, like, well, let me ask in terms of a question. Mm-hmm. Who's the one person, like, the butterflies and that gut churning's going to happen when you see them?
Greg.
And what are you going to say?
I'm sorry, and then I'm going to explain why I had to align with Rachel and Bryce. And Rachel and I found those idols together, and I had to stick with her because I felt like I had to stick with her because she knew about it, and at that time she had told Bryce about it. She told Bryce she had an idol. He thought it was the real idol, so and I knew it was the fake one, but I don't know, it was like the whole idol thing made me want to stick with her just because she was so adamant, like, about we have to stick together, like, this is our thing. And I mean, we did have that relationship a whole day before Greg, and so I mean, yes, it was like 30 minutes of a paddle, challenge, but that's 30 minutes more than what it was with him. And then coming into the swap, she was with Bryce on yellow, and I just immediately felt like a connection with Bryce, and so I was like, green should connect with them. Like, and blue was medically gone, so if we had gone green, us two green, Evan and I with Greg, that's only 3 versus the 4, the Rachel and Bryce and Evan and I. So that was where my head was at, and it really sucked voting him out though because he was 100% loyal to me.
What do you think he's going to say?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know right now.
Yeah. Well, the after parties, the production loves to walk around and see everyone share their stories.
Yeah. He did say when we were playing that he wanted, well, there were a couple things. Like, he said earlier yesterday, I think, like, if I have to be out, I'm gonna, like, I want somebody who loves this game to win. And I was like, what do you mean if? Like, that was just, like, in there. And then, so I think he does a lot of Survivor stuff, so I think he'll understand why I had to vote him out. But, yeah, again, I don't know. I lost my other thought. I had another thought on that, but it's gone.
On a less relationship level, what kind of challenges do you think you might see today? And is there a type of challenge which when you see it, you'd be like, oh, I wanted to be in that one?
Any sort of balancing challenge. Yeah. Any sort of balancing thing. I'm also pretty ticked that I lost the immunity yesterday. I know exactly what question I got wrong, and I'm pretty ticked about that. But
What was the question?
it was who of these 4 players who has not spent over 100 days in Survivor. And I knew it wasn't Tyson. I knew, he's done that. It wasn't Ozzy. And it was either Amanda or Rupert. And I was like, it's Amanda. And then I was like questioning back and forth. And I was like, no, maybe it's Rupert. And then I don't know why, but I picked Rupert, and it's Amanda, right? I think.
China,
Yeah.
Micronesia.
I think actually, I'd have to check the numbers, but she went to the finals twice and then did pretty well decently well the other time. So I think it might be Tyson because he wasn't that long in Token Chains.
Was he?
Yeah. And he was in Blood versus Water the whole
Right.
time, but
He
Heroes
was
versus
39.
Villains,
He was
remember
in
he got
Token Teens almost.
he was there
pretty
like 30
far.
days plus 39, but then in Heroes versus Villains, he wasn't there that long because he got thrown out
Early.
when he
When
voted
he
the wrong
voted
way.
himself.
Yeah.
That might be Tyson.
Yeah, because as you might imagine, just like the SAT or something, 2 of the answers, one's going to be like 101 and the other
Right.
one's 98. So,
I wish the SAT had more Survivor stuff.
yeah, that'd be helpful.
I knew the other 2 questions I got were right, for fact.
Yeah.
Um,
What were
I'm
those
sorry.
questions? I didn't actually get to see the
I
final
was surprised
draft.
we didn't
The,
at least go through the answers. I know we didn't do this
Yeah.
so the audience didn't do anything, but a bunch of people want to know the answers and questions.
Yeah, I
The
think
question I got was which is the only season that had an odd number of players, which is Fiji. And then the other one was which is the season that never had a merge, and that's Palau, because they got wiped out. So those were right? That it was the. Yeah, it was the. Oh, I'm mad that I don't know that.
I think it's Tyson. I think.
Yeah, it's
You
the
might be
surprise
right.
answer. I can't remember how many days it was in Heroes vs. Villains, but it wasn't that high. Well, we'll be Googling in a moment.
11 or...
Yeah, we'll be checking here pretty soon.
Let me know, before the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be eating at you. Well, we're all used to instant gratification, right?
Right. I know.
Anything else that's informing your final day in the game?
No.
Oh, I know what I want to ask. Last question.
Okay.
When other people join you on the jury, are you planning on trying to convince them of anything? Fill them in on anything?
No.
Are you thinking just let them come to their own conclusion?
I'm gonna let people do their own thing. I I'm not gonna try to convince anyone to do anything. This is where I get to see. I want to collect information so that I make the best decision at the end. I don't know what anybody else is going to do, but I want them to make their own decisions because that's the fun of voting.
Sure. I asked the question just because so you have your criteria of strategy, and what if a critical mass of people is saying, I just want to go with the person I like the most. I know they didn't do anything, but it's just they're nice and it'll be a nice thing.
Yeah, that might take me off of it.
That's what I was trying to get at it, because
Okay.
it feels that way to me. Like you would be like, no,
Right.
the best game.
Right. Okay, so if there are a ton of people that do that, we'll just see how the day goes, but if there are a ton of people that do that, like I said, I want to know the strategy, so that's definitely going to be something I think about when I do a question or something. So I'm guessing I'm not going to hold back when I'm talking to other people about it as well, just so that so that I can get as much information, and then by doing that also, I guess maybe that they can think about that as well. But
Planted Desiree seed.
yeah, you just did. I'm like, man, I have to work today. Gosh.
Jury's a job.
I guess.
And it's a lovely responsibility.
Yeah.
But it is amazing to see the jury take collective and individual ownership over.
Yeah.
You say now, it's like, oh, we'll just see what happens.
Right.
And then it starts to unfold, and it's like, no.
What is going on?
I need to do something about this.
Tyson, 81 days. 15 plus 27
Yeah.
plus
I was
39.
wrong even on my second guess, man. What? How many was Amanda?
I put my phone away, but it's over 100. Yeah. 'Cause she went 39, 39, and then
Yeah. I was
yours versus
thinking
Villain,
she had
went
like.
Yeah, she went
pretty deep there too.
Yeah.
And Rupert's played like 15 times, so.
Although one
Right.
time for not for very long.
4,
but
yeah, that's why I was like, maybe it's Rupert because he only played for like a day.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
did they
But then
count day
All-Stars
0
only
as
went
a
to day
day?
36 though.
He
It
did.
would be probably 1, I would guess. He did play a day. Because he did that on the first day.
Yeah,
Right.
but they had day 0 or night 0 where they won.
Yeah, does that count?
He made it to day 1.
Right.
Night 0, day 1.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyone not getting a Christmas card from you? This cast?
What do you think?
I have an idea.
I think I'll be fine with Hannah. I just want to know, like, I just have a few questions, but I think I'll be able to let it go. I mean, I have to, so I don't want to be mad at her forever.
Yeah. I don't know that we still, I mean, years, we're in year 6, I don't think there's any long-lasting grudges that I can think of. It's,
No.
in the end, we all get to the other side.
I
but-
mean,
You're all in a fraternity now of survival
right.
challenge players.
Like,
Emily.
I have to forgive her, and like all these other people that I voted out have to forgive me. Like, I can't expect like to be okay with my relationship with the people I voted out if I'm not okay with the relationship with whoever voted me out.
Yeah, you have
It's
that
like-
balance spot of like, I forgive them because they need to forgive me. It's
Right.
the people early in the game where it's like, what the
Right.
hell did I ever do?
Right. Right. I mean, I think it's, and at the end, it is a game. Like, it's a game. So,
And yet, it always feels like a little more than that.
yeah. Yep.